Okay, so we'll okay. Okay, I got the I remember that we have completed till 22nd question. So we'll start with 20 question number 23rd. So before starting with that, we have one criteria. So each and every you guys will get 30 seconds, 30 to 40 seconds for each and every question. So you guys have to read the question and give the answers in 30 to 40 seconds. So we'll not waste much time on simple question. Okay. So you guys have to give the answer according to that. So let's start. Okay. Question number 23rd. Manoj, you have to pick two answers, two correct answers. You can see it's written in the questions. You have to pick two correct answers. Okay. Okay, Manoj and Vimlendra, what about you? Okay, AB. And we've got one more guy, SJ. Okay, what about you? Okay, BC. SJ said BC and the other said AB. And okay, so, oh, yeah. I remember we have completed 23rd question also on that day and 24th also. Okay, so Manoj, I think you have gave the wrong answer. On that day also you have gave the wrong answer, and today you have give the wrong answer. No worries. So B is the correct option, but not A, and C is also not the correct option. So the correct answer is B and D, because I'll tell you why. Because if you'll read the option A, routing table of subnet A has no target route to subnet B. So you guys should remember when we have when we had studied the VPC topic, right? So at that time, we don't have to mention the routes of our public instance to the private instance. We do not mention the routes of our public instance to private instance, right? What we do, we directly connect to the private instance through public instance with the key. So that means there is no, it is not mandatory to give the routes in the routing table or to give the targets. So option A is not correct in that case, and option C is policy linked to okay. So like all these things like pinging from one instance to other instance, there is no role of IAM role, like there is nothing of IAM role and IAM policies and all. So basically option B and option C are correct, because if you select the security group, like if you select the correct security group, in that case uh, your instance A will ping to the instance B. And if you configure the NACL, so then also your instance, because NACL is network ACL, if you configure the access control list of our network in correct manner, then only we'll be able to ping the instances. So option B and option D are correct. Now question number 24. So read it carefully and then give the answer, because you guys will like I think you guys will get confused in two or three options. So think about it and then give the answer. Vijay, you guys only have to give one answer. Understand if they have written, like, if in the quiz, like, I am creating the quiz, so if you guys can see, pick two correct answer or give two options. So if the question requires multiple choice answer, so they'll write it that you guys have to give multiple answers. Okay, so you have to give only one answer. Okay, so we confused on a. Okay, I like, I've told you, you guys will be confused in two or three options. Think about it in detail and then give the answer. What about you, Bimlendra and SJ? Bimlendra said A. Manoj also said A. Vijay also said A. Okay. And Bimlendra said A. Okay. And SJ? Uh, okay. So Vijay, Manoj, Bimlendra gave the answer. Okay. So your answer is not correct. The correct answer is option E, NACL. Because security groups, like in security group, what we do is, security groups are the, uh, like, what we can say is, we allow the ports, or we give the access of our port in the security group. Like security group works as a firewall, like where we configure the ports, like this is the port which can access from the instance, or which can access the instance, and also we do that kind of thing in security group. But whatever is related to IP address and all these things are networking. So whatever we have to configure related to IP address, like pinging request and all, we have to configure it in NACL, network ACL. So that's why option E is correct. E, NACL. Got it? So question number 25. Okay, Vijay said C, Manoj C. Okay, Manoj, on that day also you have said C, for this question. Okay, let's wait for Bimlendra. Mm, Vimalendra, are you given the answer? E. Okay. Okay, so your answer is not correct. The correct answer is option B. I'll tell you why. Okay, so first understand the question. The question is, I have launched the one instance in VPC with a configured network ACL. And what I have configured in the network ACL, I have configured network ACL in such a way that it will allow all the incoming traffic and deny all the outbound traffic. Okay, that means all the inbound traffic, allow all the inbound traffic means uh, they'll allow the traffic coming which is coming to our instance, and they'll deny for all the traffic that we are sending from our instance. And security group is also configured in that way only, like deny all the outbound traffic. So what changes need to make to allow SSH access to the instance? Now, if we are if we are doing the SSH from an instance or to an instance, that means we are sending the request, but we have not we have denied all the outbound traffic. So for that, we have to configure the outbound and network ACL. Okay, understood. Like if we will not allow the outbound network ACL, so how will we able to send the request? Will not be able to access the IP address of the destination. In that case, we have to configure the outbound network ACL. Yeah, for SSH we also need outbound. Manoj, you should remember, like on that day also, I remembered we have completed till this question. So on that day also, you said C, as far as I remember. Yes. No, okay. So now question number 6. Now from now on, like every question is new to everyone because we have completed till question number 25th on Friday. So from now on, every question is new to everybody. So question number 26. Ramlendra, read the question correctly. They have asked for three correct answers. You have given only one. You have to give three answers. Guys, you have took almost 1 minute. If you guys are confused, then tell me you guys are confused. So I'll tell you the answer and explain it to you. Okay, Bimlan this side ABC, ABC, ABD, ABC, ABC, ABD. Okay, anyone left? Okay, no one left. So B, like I'll go with the common correct answer. So B is the correct answer that you guys have given. Then B is the correct option which Manoj said, and then E is the correct answer. So now I'll tell you why. Because if you guys remember, like those who are telling A and B both, so A and B both are the opposite point. Like you guys can see A in point A or in the option A, they are saying that a security group restrict the access of subnet, while ACL restrict the access of EC2. And in B, they are just saying the opposite of that, like security group restrict the access of EC2 and ACL restrict the access of subnet. So that are the opposite things. So either A will be correct or B will be correct. So now I'll tell you why B is correct. Because you should remember, we create security group for the EC2, right? Like we can use the security when we are creating the VPC and when we are configuring the VPC and when we create the security group there. So we create the security group only for the EC2. That means security group can restrict the access only to the EC2s. Okay, and ACL is something which is related to networking. So that means it will only be able to restrict the access of the services which are related to networking. That means subnet. So that's why option B is correct. Okay, now I'll tell you why D is correct. So network ACL perform stateless filtering and security group provide stateful filtering. Yeah, definitely. So option okay, and option E. So I'll tell you why option E is correct. So you guys can see, you guys can whenever you configure the security group, right? Uh, Stateless filtering and stateful filtering. Okay, so Vijay, I'll tell you what is stateless. First of all, let me explain option E, why option E is correct. Then I'll tell you what is stateless filtering and what is stateful filtering. Okay, so I was saying why option E is correct. So whenever you create security group, so there we can only add the rule. Have you guys seen any option to remove the rule or to deny anything? We can only add the rule. So have you guys seen anything? Uh, no. So we can only allow the rule or we can only add the rule in the security group. And in the ACL, we can also deny the rules. Okay, so this is why option E is correct. Now I'll tell you what is stateless filtering and what is stateful filtering. Okay. Uh, just a minute, guys. Okay, so what's the option? Option D, network ACL performs stateless filtering and security group performs stateful filtering. Okay, so I'll tell you what is stateless filtering. So basically, stateless means? Stateless means whatever the data you are giving, they are not storing the data. They are using it and then they'll release the data. So what network ACL do? Whenever we send the request, right? So they'll verify whether we have allowed for the IP address or not. And then if we have given the access of that IP address, so they'll allow our IP address to go on further. If we have not given the access of our IP address, they'll not allow the IP address to go on further. But in the case of security group, we have to give the rules. We have to add the rules. So that means we are like what we are doing is we are storing the data, we are adding the rules, and whenever we are using that rule, so whatever the data that is required to use that rule is stored there. So that is stateful filtering. That means we filter each and everything with the already stored data. And what is stateless? So we filter each and everything like we don't have any data stored, so we filter each and everything on that spot. So that is stateless filtering and stateful filtering. Have you guys understood? Vijay, understood? Or you can say, like in other words, if you want to say like, so basically, stateless filtering is also called as also used for like what we can say is also used for static like whenever we configure the firewall or whenever we design the network, protected network. So we use the stateless filtering for the static data, let's say for the source and destination. So that is why we configure an NACL only for the source and destination with the IP address system also. That's why NACL performs stateless filtering. Okay. Yeah, data here means IP address or the store, like yeah, source IP address, destination IP address. So data here means source IP, destination IP. So we have a static IP, like source IP, static destination IP. Data does not mean here like we have any file, we have any folder. Data means IP address. Okay. So if you guys understood that, so now you guys have to give the answer for question 27. Okay, Manoj has gave the answer. No worry, Manoj. Like if you have like if you have revised the EC2 topic now, so you can give the answer of this question with that also. Like you have given the answer, so let's wait for others to give the answer. Then I'll tell you what is the answer and explain it to you why. Vijay and Vimlendra, I'm waiting for you. Okay, Vijay said C. Vimlendra, what about you? Vimlendra, are you writing? Okay, so Vijay gave the correct answer. Option C. Configure the security group itself as a source and allow the traffic to on all the ports and protocols. Okay. So I'll tell you why option C is correct because you guys can see that they have written in the question the user want to configure the instance. Okay, so that means user want to configure the instance like whatever the configuration that we want to add or we want to delete, the configuration that we will be going to do is on instance. So instance is related to security groups, right? So if you guys want to add some configuration, if you want to delete some configuration, so you have to do it in security groups. So that's why option C is correct. Option B says configure the subnet. So if you will configure the subnet, that does not like that. That does not mean that whatever you change in the subnet, it will be automatically redirected to the instance. The instance is related to security groups. So that's why option C is correct. Okay. And option D, Bimlin, the option D is not correct because the instance is in same VPC. So why you have to create peering? So that's why option C is correct. Now we'll move next. 28. Question number 28. One two means AB. They're talking about AB. I'll change it. You guys are confused in the answer because like we have not studied customer gateway and this thing cloud have yet. So that's why. If you guys are confused in it, so let me know. So then I will give you the answer. Okay, Manoj said D. Okay. Okay, maybe E. Okay. Vijay said maybe E. Okay. Bimlendra, what about you? D. Okay. So the correct answer is option D. I'll tell you why option D and not option B. Sorry, not option E, because in option E, they have included a C option also. So what is C? You have to define five different IP. Like whenever you are using the VPN, whenever you are connecting using the VPN, so in that case you don't have to define the static IPs and also that's why option D is correct. Okay. Uh, so that's why option D is correct, Vijay. Okay. Now question number 29. Okay, Vijay said okay, okay. Okay, sorry, Vijay, I didn't uh, see your comment. Okay, Vijay said public IP required for VPN. No, Vijay, like if you are using the VPN and your like ISP has already created some NAT or grade NAT or some type of connection, so in that case you don't require public IP to connect to VPN. And if you like, if you are connecting, okay, question number 29, option D. Manoj said option D. Okay. And Vijay, I was telling you, if you are connecting to the VPN, so your public IP will get changed. Like you will get the public IP of the destination network, like where you have connected or which VPN you have connected. So you'll get the public IP of that network. Public IP gets changed when you connect to the VPN. Okay, Manoj said option D for question number 29. Uh, uh, I'm waiting for Vijay and Bimlendra also. So let's them give the answer. Then we'll go. Then I'll tell you what's the answer. Okay, Bimlendra, what about you? Vijay, give the answer. Okay, so like your answer is not correct. The correct option is E, none of the above. Because like whatever the options that are there in A, B, C, D are not correct. So the correct answer is option E, none of the above. Question number 30. Explain D. Okay, let me go on to D. Okay, statically assigned routes cannot be configured in case of more than one VPN. Like if you are okay, I'll tell you why. Like if you are configuring the VPN, like not like I'm not talking about more than one VPN gateway, or like I'm talking about in general. Like if you are configuring the static routes of your IP address, where if you want when you want to connect to the VPNs and all, so you cannot you cannot use or you cannot give or you cannot edit the route table with the static routes. Okay, statically assigned routes are not used. So or they have said that statically assigned route cannot be configured in case of more than one VPN, but that is not correct. You can configure the statically assigned routes. Like if you are creating two VPN, three VPN gateways, and also you will configure the static routes. Like cannot configure it is not the correct option. So that's why option D is not correct. They have said that. Okay, okay, got it. So question number 30. Now here they have written choose four options. So read the question. Okay, okay, sorry, not this question. This question is related to IPsec and all. So we have not studied IPsec and VPN gateway and all. So that's why leave this question. We'll go on to question number. Let me see. Question number 31. The previous question was related to IPsec and all. So we have not studied that. That's why I have skipped that question. Okay, Manoj said A. or D? Okay. Manoj is a bit confused. Okay. Let's wait for Vijay and Vimlendra, then I'll tell you the answer. Vijay said C. Okay. And what about you, Vimlendra? D. Okay. So Manoj, the option which we have said at earlier, option A was is the correct option, because if you read it, like I thought you guys will get confused between ACL and security, because they have, like I have mentioned the IP address also. Like, not I have mentioned, the question has IP address also. So I thought that you guys will get confused in ACL and security. So if you read the question in proper way, so you guys will understand. Like they are asking us to give the SSH access to the host. Like we have to give the access of SSH to the host. Okay, so whenever we are giving the access to the host or any instance, so in that case we have to configure security. Whenever we are allowing or denying the IP address, in that case we have to configure the ACL. But whenever we have to give the access to the host, so in that case we have to configure the security group. So that's why option A is correct. Now slash 32 is basically what we can say is whatever we create the subnets and also slash 32 is subnetting. Have you understood why option A? Okay. Okay. Vijay, have you got it? Bimlendra, have you got it? Why option A is correct? Okay. So we are not going on to question number 22, because if you guys don't know about direct connect and VPC peer, like we have studied only VPC peering in Elastic IP. You guys are not aware about direct connect and private gateway. So we are not going to question number 32. So that's it for today. And the we'll do the remaining quiz on the next session. Like whenever we'll do the quizzes in the next from the next session, like maybe after day after tomorrow or after that, like on Wednesday and Thursday. So whenever we'll do the quiz, so we'll first continue with this quizzes, then we'll move on further. So that's it for today's session. Thank you guys for attending today's session. If you guys have any doubt in that ELB also and all, so let me ask me. And as soon as we'll complete the quiz, I'll give you this document also of the quizzes. Okay. Okay. So I'll stop the recording.